Listen, if you're starting YouTube or content creation, do not buy a pro camera first. Seriously. If you're just now starting on YouTube or content creation right now, that might be the dumbest gear move that you can actually make. And before you click off, just hear me out. Most beginners, they don't actually have a camera problem, they actually have a setup problem. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you my exact budget setup that I would cop if I had to start my channel all over again. And that's going to pertain to the camera, the lens, the audio, the lighting, the whole thing. And it's not going to cost what you think. Now, I'm not just saying this. I've already been through the phase where I felt better gear equates to better videos, but it doesn't. And if I lost all my gear right now and I had to start from zero again, I would not start with the most expensive body, not even close. Because the problem never really is the camera itself, it's actually everything around it. Somebody decides that they want to start creating, they save up all this money, and then they spend mostly all of it just on the camera body itself. And now they don't have any money for a decent lens, a real mic, no lighting setup, no extra batteries. Overall, the workflow's a mess. And now they're sitting there wondering why their content still doesn't look professional, even with a pro camera. And that's usually the trap, because a lot of people will spend $1,500 to $2,000 on a camera, but then they don't have good audio, and then all of a sudden the content is just overall bad. So I'm gonna try to make this very simple. You should not be buying for status. You actually should be buying for your workflow. And that is a huge difference, because when you're actually starting out, the biggest jumps in your content quality doesn't come from upgrading your body. It actually comes from getting the basics right. So first, you actually need a lens. A solid lens on a decent camera is going to beat an expensive body with a cheap lens. And that's going to happen every single time. Second will be your audio. See, people forgive average videos way faster than they forgive bad sound. If I click on your video right now and the audio sounds rough, then I'm going to be out. And that's how most people are right now. Third will be your lighting. This is the one where beginners skip the most, because good lighting actually makes budget gear look more expensive, and bad lighting makes expensive gear look cheap. And then fourth will actually be ease of use. If your setup is annoying to use, you're not really going to shoot enough, and you're not going to shoot consistently, and you're not going to be able to improve. And that's a real thing. So here's the exact setup that I will actually build if I had to start over today. And it's not going to be the most expensive, not the flashiest, but just the smartest. So the first thing, I'm actually going to get a camera body that gives me solid image quality, clean autofocus, and a clean workflow, so I don't have to fight when I hit record every single time. I don't need the most expensive body, I just need something that I actually can learn on and something reliable that I actually can grow with. Another thing I'm going to need is a solid lens. So I'm going to be pairing one good lens, not 5 budget lenses, one solid lens that I'm actually going to use. Because one versatile lens will actually shoot consistently better than a bag full of just cheap lenses. My next up will be audio. And honestly, if my budget was still tight, I'm still going to make room for a decent mic, because bad sound will make your videos feel cheap way faster than your camera body will. That's not an opinion, that's just how people watch content now. So you got to make sure that your audio is on point. Then the last thing I'm actually going to really get into will be good lighting. So even one solid key light will completely change how my footage will look. This is the piece where beginners skip and they actually blame the camera, but you don't want to be that person. So just make sure that your lighting's on point. And then also too, one thing I forgot to mention will be supporting gear. Now this might be like the most boring things that you might want to be able to buy, but it's important because you need extra batteries, storage, maybe a tripod, maybe even a small rig. It just depends on what you're filming. Supporting gear, sounds basic until your battery dies, and then, you have to pretty much start all over when it comes to your filming. So if you have a little extra money in your budget, and you don't want to, you want to be able to get the things that you need to get, do not upgrade your body camera. Actually put that into better audio, better lighting, better batteries, or more batteries rather, and more storage. You want to be able to have a clean shooting environment. Maybe you want to set your environment up a little bit more so it looks a little bit more professional when you start shooting. It's a little bit easier, and it helps you, create content a little bit more better in that way. And yes, the camera does get all the credit, but the setup actually does all the work. The body is just the most visible piece, but the full setup around it is what actually makes you consistent. And consistency is actually what's going to help you grow your channel. And if this is making sense, go ahead and hit that like button, because I'm probably going to break this down into budget tiers. I'm actually going to build a budget of 500 up to 1500. So if you actually want to see those type of videos, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss it. But if you're a beginner trying to start YouTube or content creation and you're trying not to waste your money getting there, a smart budget is actually going to help you move forward way faster than a pro camera ever will. So if I had to start over from scratch today, here's exactly what I'll do. Get one solid camera, one useful lens, clean audio, good lighting, and reliable support gear. And that's the move, because at the start of your goal is to not look expensive. Your goal is to get good. So usually stop buying for looks and start buying for your output. And if you're building your first setup right now, go ahead and drop your exact budget down in the comments and I'll tell you what you should prioritize first. And if you want me to do a part 2 where I actually break down, the different budget levels and gears and stuff like that from 500 to 1500, let me know down below. I'll go ahead and make that happen. Subscribe if you actually want the honest gear and creator advice without all the extra hype. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.